Greetings and welcome to the Inner Den. It is the beginning of February. What you guys up to? What's going on? What's going on? Did you survive the full moon?
Oh,
Did you
if I could
sleep?
just have a good night's sleep, I would be a different human being. Oh my god. I have had 1 good night's sleep in 2 weeks, and I am fucking nuts. So help me out there, Michonne, with the
Uh,
astrology or whoever with the oh my god. What
that
would
full
yeah.
moon in Leo took us for a ride.
Oh,
I've got a friend out here that I met in Utopia. His name's Derek. He has an Instagram called The Art of Falling Asleep. I know he has a program for insomniacs. When I first moved out here, when I first met him, we were just discussing what each of us did, and that was the only time in my life I was really struggling with sleep. And he suggested that I do the same thing that I tell firewalkers to do, which is to match or bring their energy to the frequency of the fire to get across the coals with happy feet. So his suggestion at that time was just do that with sleep, match your energetic frequency to that of sleep and see what happens. And it did help me. So
oh,
maybe that'll help
nice.
you.
Because I usually do, like, a grateful thing when I fall asleep, and then I'm like, "Okay, God," or, you can I'll substitute that, "I'm ready for sleep now."
My other big one I go to is box breath.
Yeah. Yeah, I try and do that too. Yeah. Anyway, uh, I am exhausted yet again. So here we are. I will try those. I will work on my frequency and my breath. Thank you.
I'm
I
exhausted too, but I don't have a sleep excuse. I'm just doing too much. So
yeah,
yeah.
I
I
usually
love the
never
reframe.
I never have trouble sleeping. It's just been this last little while. It's been, perhaps it's the shedding of the snake and I lay down and all of a sudden it's like, Anne Marie, you didn't make any time for your soul. So I'm going to think about all kinds of things because you didn't spend a minute. And I'm like, bugger.
Well, and I don't know, every full moon I don't sleep, but it's not like I'm exhausted. Like it's kind of like a maybe a dream space, but like it's sleep, but it's different quality. And every full moon it happens. So is it that you're not sleeping, or is there some full moon fresh going on?
That makes sense to me because I know I'm sleeping, but, like, today, I was dragging, and I slept enough hours on paper.
On paper. Well, and we've been talking about how long these last that we got 2 more weeks of snake shedding.
Yeah.
It is the energy too, right?
Mhm.
But the perspective shift of matching your vibration, you nailed me hard with that one because yeah, we're always thinking about it in with fire and that, but to take it in a space of sleep, whoa, that's a
Yeah.
gooder. Did he get you too when he first said that? Did that glitch you?
Oh yeah, yeah, and like I said, it did help because I had to reframe it for myself at the time. Yeah,
Well, you just reframed it for me, so that's awesome. And he's in your space, like where you live now.
yeah, yeah. Um, there was something that Christina had just said as well about like this getting enough sleep on paper, but not feeling rested, right? Um, and this is a really more getting deeper into what your dream life is like because you could be doing a ton of stuff in your dream life and or like just separating from your physical body astrally. Like I don't know, I try to keep a rope, right, like around my physical body to my astral body when sleeping, and it can help with some of that too. um so yeah, have you been doing anything exciting in your dreams, Christina?
I'm
Oh, do
trying to
tell.
remember. No. Uh, yeah, not exciting, not exciting good.
No.
And that rope, that is a thing.
Mhm.
That's new to me.
Really? Mm.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Do you remember your dreams?
No. I have lately, sometimes. I remember and they're weird. Of course, dreams can be weird. I don't remember the context, but I remember it was baseball, playing baseball, and the ball was being thrown from one place to another, and I was sliding, and it felt like sourdough bread. That's what I remember, right? So it's
You're
not like
thinking too much.
so it's not like I'm, being profound or anything, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Cool. So when does the infield feel like sourdough bread, kinda rough and airy?
Well, and sometimes you have to ask for the night off.
Mm,
I've had to do that. Not recently, but in the past when through part of my spiritual awakening when I was just blown wide open and that those boundaries weren't necessarily there yet. I sometimes asked for the night off. I can't be fighting tonight. I can't be, working in angelic realms, which was where I was going, and I would wake up exhausted. It's hard to explain the feeling, but the only way I can figure out to explain it is, in Avatar when Jake would get into his little booth and then go and then get out, like it's they're not that far off from that, right? We're just jumping into our consciousness is jumping into different avatars, different
The
timelines, and
the
so
other
you
thing, sorry,
go ahead.
to think about is what direction is your head facing?
Yes,
Northeast.
the feng shui aspect of the
Yeah,
place.
and it's in a lot of different, cultures that, it's that they talk about that, what direction is best. So, you might want to look that up as well.
Well, like I say, most of the time I sleep really well. It's just been the last couple months that it's just been so bad. But
Anne Marie,
yeah,
what have you done over the last couple of months?
nothing.
Anne
I'm
Marie,
kidding.
what happened in Tulum 2 months ago?
Right?
Ahem.
Yeah. So a lot has happened. Obviously, a lot has happened. So, I'm trying to be graceful as well, but you
What
know,
happens, I think, is especially with you, is that you're getting so good at staying in the present moment. So then, when you can't sleep, you're like, "Why am I not sleeping?" Well, ascension symptoms are a thing.
yeah,
Your whole body is recalibrating,
yeah,
and when you forget that sometimes, because when you're in the present moment, you don't remember what you were doing 2 months ago, but you're still recalibrating.
yes,
Still.
yeah.
Was it in the last
And
2 months that you found out you were gonna move too?
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah.
I
There's a lot.
almost the visual that's coming up in my head right now is, in the gym when I was coaching the kids, the competitive kids, we would make stars. I would cut out like construction paper, yellow, gold stars, and they would have to write their intent and, two or three things. And then I made a star wall. And when they would come to this, I don't know why this is like that spin, I would just point to the wall, go read your star, go read your star. Remember what your intent was, remember where you're at. It's kind of like that anchor, that anchoring spot, like the big digital maps at the shopping malls. You are here, you're here on your map, because people
Um,
forget where they are in the process when they're like, "Oh, I can't do the twist, I can't do the twist." Well, I said you just learned it. It
yeah,
takes 3 months almost to be able to, get to mastery level at minimum, the same thing applies in the spiritual realm. You still have to know where you are on the map.
Yeah. And I have not put a push pin in except for that one right there to hold up my little tree of life. So I haven't put a push pin in somewhere, so I don't know.
So
I
doesn't
don't
it
know.
make sense why you're spinning a little?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah,
Because we talk about it, but there's no tangible. We humans need the visual,
yeah,
otherwise we spin in our brains, right?
yeah,
And that's why I would tangibly make the kids have their journals, have their star on the wall with their intent and what their goal was, so that there is a little bit and star charts.
yeah,
I in the I in the spiritual realms, in the Toltec realm especially, we're trying to undo everything. But reality says humans need structure.
yeah,
There still has to be structure and there still has to be rules.
yeah.
That was one of the wild things in the new Oracle cards community that I've joined on school as well. The leader in there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we love structure," and I'm like, I haven't heard those words in 10 years. What does that mean? I got so deprogrammed from structure. And now I'm like, actually, you know what? Structure's healthy and it
Yeah.
actually allows you to not be abused. So I'm all for a little bit of structure these days,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and bringing back those healthy guidelines that I ran in the gym for 30 years. Did I have to take a look at them and decide which ones were great and which ones weren't? Absolutely. But my discernment's pretty sharp now, I tell you. So finding that map and then trying to figure out how can I bring that structure into spirituality realms where there is no star charts.
Right. Yeah.
Can we build a star chart?
Yes, what constellation would we make?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, but I do believe that it is humans like us that are going to provide the foundation and the structure for the next generations because they deserve it.
Yeah.
That's why we do this work. So hopefully people don't have to experience what we experienced, right?
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
So yeah, it's on my list. Star charts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're inspiring me to make more star charts there, Anne Marie. Yeah, yeah. And what other tools are out there for that? How do you keep yourself on track, Michonne? What do you use?
Uh, in regards to spirit structure and spirituality, or in just structure in general?
Just being a human,
Yeah. Um,
keeping
well,
yourself on track.
yeah, one of the things that came up for me while you were talking about structure and stuff that came to mind was, I think, like, I would consider myself having done better throughout COVID than some other people because I was able to provide myself structure. What I mean by that is I started working from home, but nothing changed. I still got up at the same time. I still worked out. I still took the shower. I still got ready to go. There was no working in my pajamas. No, like
Yeah.
there just wasn't like, and that was for me, that was a way of coping mechanism. And that's one of the things I've been noticing now, as I've been saying that I'm tired, and I've mentioned it a couple times ago as well. I'm just trying to fit a bunch of stuff in, and what ends up getting sacrificed right now is some piece of my self care, and that has been like my workouts or um, some of my meditative practices in the morning. So the trade off for me right now has been, okay, you can't do both every morning. This morning you're gonna do the meditation, the next morning you're gonna do, and it's only for a short period of time where I'm dealing with some medical appointments and things. But I just have to keep saying something is better than nothing, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes that's the tendency is, well, if I can't do it the way I want to do it, well, I'm just not going to do it, or I'm not going to do anything at all. And holding on to that, the something's better than nothing. Oh, I can't work out for a half hour. Well, can I work out for 20 minutes and still get something, or, just things like that. So really, how do I keep myself on track? It's remembering what makes me feel good when I have that foundation in place, um, and makes it so I have a larger capacity to hold, say, discomfort or stress or whatever it might be when I go out into the world. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what being an entrepreneur is doing the same thing. You have to have structure and discipline. Otherwise, you'll never get anything done.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's other qualities too, but that's the key to being an entrepreneur. You just have to get up, figure out your workout or your meditation and what's, you know, hopefully both, and then get your work done. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Christina?
That was a big roll of the eyes.
Well, no, I didn't mean to roll them, like, that wasn't intended. Um, I do try to write things down. I do have a planner. I'm not always very good at using it, um, but it is better when I do, um, and Excel sheets for everything.
Yeah, you love your spreadsheets. You and Anne Marie love your spreadsheets.
They work. Oh, and I learned new things on them today, so that was exciting.
Oh,
There's new
yay.
stuff to learn on Excel spreadsheets.
What?
Do you like your spreadsheets too, Michonne? Am I the only spreadsheet hater here?
I have to use them a lot for my day job. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I use them for work and for home, like, for some things. Um, yeah, and, checking in and accountability partners, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big deal too.
Yeah, for sure.
And goal setting too, and I think that a lot of people think, like, they talk about goal setting as being the things they wanna do, but then I break them down and I say, "No, like, that's not a goal." It's like going to the gym 3 times a week to me is not a goal. It's the why I'm going to the gym, that's the goal. And those pieces, like going to the gym, those are action steps towards it. So really understanding, um, the goal, what is it you want to achieve, and then breaking it down more. So then it becomes realistic. Then it's kind of like that star chart where you can go back and look at the why, and that reminds you.
Yeah, you reverse engineer your goal, and I learned a new word. I can't remember if it was from the Harmozy Tony Robbins podcast or whether it was one of our mastermind circles. I can't remember, but moonshot. Have you guys heard the word moonshot before?
No,
Well,
but it
I'm gonna
sounds
guess they're referring to a astro or astronomy move, aerospace move, where you're basically trying to shoot yourself around the moon and gain momentum as you come around, or no?
Maybe. Don't know.
Is that what
it,
Superman did
It
around the
it might
world?
have derived from that, but from my understanding, the moonshot is that a goal that you think is just absolutely impossible to achieve. Like
Yeah.
it's that man. If I could do anything in the world, that this is like the moonshot. This is it, the big.
Yeah.
And back to the star charts and the big star that the kids would put on the wall, that's what I was asking them. And usually the kids would say, I want to be the next Olympian. Like I want nationals. I want the gold medal type thing. But and so when they would get frustrated, go look at what your moonshot was. And we have, like Christina just said, going to the gym 3 times a day is what's going to get you there
Mhm. Yeah.
to your thing. And I think women are really good or can be really good at just being if they need to. We are the creators. And if we feel safe, it's really easy to let go of some of those boundaries and just be and flow in that goddess energy. But for men, they need that purpose. Purpose is part of the identity. And so the masculine within in us also feels that as well. And if you're purpose driven and it's coming from your bones, then you're more likely to stick to your plan. And so one of the things I took from our meeting this morning with our publisher is she said if you're built, and this is more business type stuff like a funnel. She was talking about a funnel and she said you have to absolutely love your funnel. You have to love it. Because if you don't love it, how are you going to sell it? If you're not passionate about what you've already created, then the fear, shame, whatever that obstacle that's going to pull you into that lower vibration is going to come and it's going to win. So how can you love it? Not only have the purpose, but we talked about joy being resistance last week. So how can we create this without it being suffering? That's one of the things. I don't know if you guys have watched that podcast yet with Alex and Tony, but it was all about just he just wanted to be in service. He just wanted to be useful was the words he used. It wasn't coming from heart space. It was like I just want to be useful in the world. Well, of course you're going to burn out and feel apathy when you only feel useful and there's no passion behind what you're doing. Why would you do it then?
Yeah.
Right? So finding that passion is fire. That's what moves the needle. It's the action. And we're literally moving into the passionate fire horse like that's it's coming. So I don't want to hate what I'm doing for the rest of my life. We know lots of humans end up in that position. It's what we're trying to help people unravel from. So if you pick a goal, let's pick one that you're actually going to love and work towards that. Work your way towards that freedom. And that's going to look different for everybody because everybody's got a different mission on this planet. What's yours?
So the moonshot was Apollo 13 slingshotting around the moon to get home after their stuff broke. So they needed a maneuver to get them home.
There
So
you
you
go.
go back and like watch Apollo 13. So yeah, I get the like what are you it's again what are you willing to do, right? What are you willing to do? And because it was a dangerous move that they were playing and risky and but they wanted to come home.
And
Right.
so you take that shot and that's exactly it. So what is it for you? What is in our world we could also call it a quantum leap. They're scary. But how badly do you want to shift? And some of us purposefully step in it. We walk on fire on purpose. Right? Which to some people it just doesn't even make sense. I actually had some family members actually get mad at me and gave me shit for doing it. Why would you put your body through that?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I have firefighters.
Do you
Like,
have people say that to you too?
oh yeah, and like a lot of them were okay with the fire, but then when I started doing the glass, they were a lot more concerned. They were really concerned that I was gonna somehow cut open my Achilles heel and like bleed out on my own or something. It was like, oh, there's not like that, like even for that to happen. But and I appreciate the concern. I do. And for some people, it's just not their cup of tea. And I know, and these are people who similar people that the martial artists who can break the board with their hand and stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Technically, I should be able to do that too, just because of my training, but I have never done that part, and that one scares me. I want to do it sometime, but I haven't done it yet. So it's just what's in and outside of your comfort zone that helps, I guess, inspire you to go for that next goal.
Yeah, and I think with this shift, this new Chinese New Year shift, um, now's the time to be looking at really what do you want to do moving forward? What does that look like? And what do you have to do to move the needle? So it's going to be very interesting, and we may have more sleepless nights. We're also human.
We've also been having more solar flares and stuff too.
Oh man, yeah. Earth and life is just this is it's just new, and so I've been following this neuropsychologist who has really grounded into me. Just accept the truth, and the suffering stops quicker.
Yeah.
Instead of this person, how can this person talk to me this way? Well, they did. It just is. So what's the next step?
Yeah.
Instead of fighting truth, accept the truth and then ask questions to move out of it instead
Right.
of
Well,
sitting
I
in
think in that
spinning.
case, feel your feelings again. Obviously, it triggered something, so feel your feelings, let it flow through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm speaking to myself too, like, trying not to be miserable because I'm not sleeping, and it's like, yeah, just let it flow through, let just feel the feelings.
Yeah. And maybe a good ugly snot cry.
Oh, I did that all day yesterday. I
Okay.
think I went through a box of tissue yesterday between my massage therapist. He's like, "Oh, I might even cry again." He said, "How are you doing?" And I just went, "What?"
Yeah.
And you know what a massage is like when you're face down crying. It's like, "Oh man, I'm so plugged up." And I need a wad of tissue because I'm just dripping underneath here. I was just too much information. It was gross, but yeah. And I've known him for so he gave me a hug and that made me cry. And now when I think of it, it makes me cry.
You're moving through a lot, and so sometimes when we go, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that, and then we want to do it all, and then your capacity explodes
Yeah.
because you bit off too much, and the digestion of it is hard. And I think that's where you're at, because you dove in head first and took on huge projects, and now your nervous system is going,
Yeah, and you
Yep.
have a book project coming up too.
huh?
You have a book project as well coming up, and I know that's on your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in Laura's book and I'm lead author in another book. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And
And
trying to
I've been
move.
kind of paralyzed, not because of that, but because of all the stuff I'm going through. So, today was the first day I was like, oh, I'm excited to actually talk to people. So that was a huge transformation. So yeah, I'm willing to walk into that.
Well, and I think moving your space and having your office, that has made a huge difference as well.
Yes.
And that's only been a couple of days. So that
Yeah.
also, as soon as you break up one of those patterns,
Yeah.
it takes time to adjust again.
Well, and it's so funny. I don't usually use Facebook Marketplace because your stuff doesn't sell. And I put my twin bed and the box spring mattress. It's very nice. I bought it all for like 450. Um, and I put it on for 50 bucks. And in a couple of days I had, and they were like, is this a fixed price? I'm actually just take it. I really just don't want it in this space anymore. So I gave it away. And then who does this on Facebook Marketplace? Like it was for her grandson. So she sent me a picture of the bed made up and this grandson sitting on the bedspread.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
so
Aw.
cute.
right? Nobody does that on Marketplace, but I get that. So it was really cute. Yeah,
Well, that's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome. That must have made you feel better.
So
I
what
know.
what exactly did you do? You moved your workspace from one area of your house to a new area, or
Yeah. So my kids started a new semester and it seems like they're home a lot more than they should be and more than I want. And the way this is a bedroom And I've had kids in here. I've had 3 kids quite a few times. So this is the 3rd bedroom.
International exchange students,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
international students. So my office has been out in the living room for years, and quite often where you've seen me mostly is at my dining room table with the cabinets behind me. And, yeah, I've been in this space now, I think not even a week. So I'm just
she needed some privacy.
I need some privacy because fucking teenagers, they're good kids, they really are, but they're also teenagers, so they're
Mhm.
So
staring,
teenagers.
gawking, listening to stuff that they have no business listening to, so I'm like
Well,
and I don't know if they can hear it
cortexes
now, but
are not developed.
yeah.
Their brains are not developed.
No shit. So, yeah, so this is good, and I have a sign on my like, I've had kids in the past that knock on my door, like, I'm actually doing a Zoom. I was taking my divine child healing course, and it was in the middle of their morning routine, so I sat at the end of my bed and did a Zoom, and one kid was like, "Can you drive me?" I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." It's like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" So, I actually have a sign on the door, "Do not disturb," period. So, anyway, so I know, it's just I've
Okay.
had kids, I've had kids. I've had to purge a lot and feel a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been a big time. It's been a big time. Well, and the cool thing is, we've been documenting since October. Who knows what our lives are gonna look like in 6 months?
Right?
And we'll be looking back at this going, "Do you remember when we were, like, here?"
Remember when Anne Marie cried all the time? Oh my god.
And now
Pick
she's
a
a
Zoom I
millionaire.
don't cry on. It's
Right,
like,
and now she's a millionaire because what was your thing that you used to say?
I am a millionaire because I exist.
We're still gonna ride that.
Yeah.
We're still
Well,
riding
and
that.
it's funny, all the when I do scroll, it's TikTok telling me my Sagittarius that I'm gonna be a millionaire this year, and I'm like, "How weird is that?" Like, and everyone is doing an astrology reading for a Sagittarius for this week, and y I'm like, "Are you kidding?
The
Millionaire,
algorithms got you
Oh,
down.
totally. Got her nailed.
Yeah,
Send her all the millionaire videos and keep doing it because, it's the vibration, right? And so that's what they talk about manifestation. You gotta feel it, you gotta live it, you gotta, it's that star that you keep pointing yourself to and
yeah, what would it feel like if you had $1,000,000 right now? Well, I know what I would do, right? I wouldn't be buying more shit to get rid of. That's for sure. Because 'cause I'm also doing this huge feng shui cleanup.
yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
Laura gave us this really cool, chart. I don't have it to show you, but, man, it kind of rattled my brain today, and I was like, "Ooh, homework, that's exciting." I'll share it in our little group for you guys, but, yeah, just some new ways to move energy and what corner of your house, like, she's got it in, like, a 9 grid
It's
like a
a Bagua
tic-tac-toe,
map.
like, so there's 9 squares, and you take that and you stand in your doorway and it shows you what part of each room, like the money corner, the power corner, la la la. And I was like, this is really cool. So we got some really cool homework this morning.
Well, and that's what I did months ago when I said remember I said I watched this funny little feng shui video and they told me the far left corner, and that was my bedroom, and I said, "I got boxes and my Bosu ball and all these things there," and I moved it and all these things changed. Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
now I do remember it now that you're bringing
So
that up.
that was the Bagua map.
Yeah, and
Bagua
she
thing.
said she said that when she started working with it, there was instant financial manifestation for her. And she's like, "Was it that? Or was it just lucky timing?" She's like, "I choose to believe it was this." And then she head dove into feng shui and now she's sharing it all with us.
Yeah. There
So,
is something quite energetically magical about that because I'm I took I emptied my closet basically because last year I didn't wear I think 5 or 6 pairs of pants or capris that I bought at Reitman's and never even took the tags off. I didn't even wear them last year and they went in the bag and gone. And then I have another cupboard. I've had black dress pants. I think I had 8 pair. Who has 8? Whatever. I have 8 dress pants. I haven't worn them. I can't tell you when I wore them last, so they just went right in the bag. Next, you know, I got an empty closet, and it's like, whew. It really does feel. I filled up another bag with curtains. My last house had 17 windows facing the south, so floor to ceiling, big windows, and I have one gigantic garbage bag full of curtains. Bye bye. Bye bye. It's wild. It's wild what's happening. So
When you moved to this new space, Michonne, did you have to do a big purge, or were you pretty already cleaned out?
Well, I downsized, so I did have to do some purging, but there was like a large amount of what I don't really have space for that takes up portions of my interior and exterior that I don't like and causes me, like, I know it causes bad feng shui, kind of stifling energy, is everything that should be in the garage.
Gotcha.
Tools and things, and I can't get rid of them because I need them for where I live and being out here. Um, but I did have a massive problem sleeping when I first moved out here, to the point where I did have to get someone else involved, and I basically had the room in every possible orientation it could be in, and my bed in every possible orientation before I got it to the orientation where it is now, and where I will never move it because of the what I experienced going into it. And so she had me, like, we did a bunch of clearing out, um, and then just again, where is my head located in the room, kind of thing. Um, and really trying to create that more open, spacious energy for sleep. I was experiencing massive anxiety that I'd never experienced in my life either. So there was more than one thing going on, but definitely had some stuff. And I also had it. I all of a sudden had my energetic body responsible for the care of 13 acres as well. So when you a minute ago were saying the super leap and then not having your energetic, that was also
The
what came to mind. I'm
capacity.
like, that was when I jumped off the cliff, and I was like, "Ah," like, oh, the universe is gonna catch me. And they're like, yeah, okay. You weren't quite energetically ready, and that's okay, but it's just taken me a few years to be able to get to a point to grow my energetic body to be responsible for 13 acres and the household. And how do I work with that, and just start to actually grow and do what the land is asking me to do for it, to be a good steward for it. So yeah.
13 acres, hey? Amazing.
Is it, it's 11 point something, not 13.
Didn't matter, was lots. Good for you.
So
Yeah, it's not my land that I'm on, but where my house is situated overlooking the lake,
mhm.
I I feel that. I understand that. There's a different level of connection when you're living in the mountains, in the wilderness, on land, like not in a residential paved community, a
Yeah,
curated, plasticized community. It's different living, and it does affect your body differently for sure.
yeah, massively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it does take time. And Christina, we've held Christina through her move,
Still purging,
and we're still purging and still not even completely set up yet, and it's been
but I
months,
have a
right?
plan. So
Yeah, you've got the map.
I have the map.
You
I
made the
wrote the
map.
map.
Yeah. So,
But that doesn't mean that some days aren't still overwhelming,
right.
Absolutely.
and you just have to get through that
Yeah.
and remind yourself where you're going, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. And Laura mentioned something too, which I'm sure Dana Claudette, who that's who she follows, says, if you're overwhelmed, 15 minutes and stop. Just stop. because it's not just removing things. You should tidy the space and
Mhm.
white baseboards or whatever it is that, that it's required there, but 15 minutes and stop.
So the one tool, I'll leave one tool, one homework because she gave it to us, so I'm just going to pass it along because misery loves company when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah,
cleaning.
this one.
She said that our first step was to actually clean our front door, clean the front
Yeah,
entrance of your house. She's like,
yeah.
how many times do we? It's just a. This is how we get into our house. Like there's no attention put to the entrance of your house. And she said, think about that. This is how people enter your field, your sanctuary, your sacred space, your internal, the physical manifestation of your internal world. How are you caring for your door? So she said, hot soapy water and peppermint oil, or an oil that you love to smell. And the ritualistic way, cleaning the energy, setting protection, pulling out those witchy tools. And it's not just feng shui. This is ancient medicine. And that was an aha moment for me because I'm like, yeah, it's time to go back to some of those practices that I have not unearthed since I landed in Canada, even. So, when you're in survival mode, some of those things get tucked away. And so when she said that today, I'm like, oh, yes. So the first place we start with is the front door. So
Oops.
perhaps we can mark this spot and talk about next week how we felt about taking care of that spot in our house and if anything changes because I'm excited to see the change. I'm going to buy into this and and through our apprenticeship I did so much purging. When I moved to the states, everything fit in a 12-foot van. Like I'm a minimalist.
Wow.
But I've moved 3 times this year. So is everything exactly where I want it? No. And that conversation today, something shifted for me and I'm like, how can I expect myself to be grounded if I'm not setting up my altars, if I'm not, bringing the magic and the ritual into the space? So, it's taken a year, but I think I'm now in the space that my nervous system is regulated enough that I can
Do you want me to
do.
share the map? Because I just found Laura's. If
Sure.
you
Um, while you're bringing up that
oh, you
map,
have
I
to
will share that. And
you have
this
to
will
approve
again
it.
lead into what you've asked us to do in homework and what's coming up next week. So I've been here was 5 years. No, I'm going into my fifth year, so it was 4 years just at the end of last year. Um, and this is the second home I've lived in where I have boxes that I have not unpacked, and I would tell you that it doesn't feel like home. And I had this conversation with a friend recently, and they're like, well, maybe it doesn't feel like home because you haven't unpacked all your boxes. Uh, and so, like, I've been really trying to sit with that for a little while because, in my youth, I would move twice in a year and fully pack up everything and fully unpack everything, and it was done in a month, and it was fine, like no
Yeah.
big deal. And so, I've wondered why I'm not doing that here. And then, when you're talking about the front door and stuff, well, that's literally right outside the front door stuff that should be in the garage, like stuff that is
Wow.
winterizing plants are all wrapped up in stuff right outside there. And like each time I have an event here at the house, I really have to, that is one of the things I have to do is basically clear out everything that's been kind of garaging it right outside the door. And so changing that vibe for everybody as they come in. But I've been trying to kind of find a figure out a way where I can like actually unpack some of these boxes that I would prefer to have unpacked and really kind of more settle in from a home perspective. I don't know. Yeah, just offering that as a
'Cause isn't it interesting that we will clean up for other people, but we won't do it for ourselves?
yeah,
Yeah.
And I think all humans do it, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And could that be something that we all commit to that we deserve it? We deserve to have that clear energetic space. We deserve it, not just the people that come to our houses. We deserve it.
Well, that's the self-love, self-care component, and it's funny, yesterday I have a massage, a standing massage every 2 weeks. I have done it for years. And my friend says, "Well, come for a facial." I'm like, "Oh, that's big budget and time and wow." It's funny that I mean, the massage fixes my body. But the facial is just purely, self-love, purely. So I just said, "Okay, I'm going to see you once a month. I'm just going to book it and do it." Because we've just, if we don't book it and do it, we don't book it and do it. Yeah, it's
Well, this
funny.
is this is this is part of why we do what we do, right? It's where
Yeah.
can we find the holes? Where
Yeah.
can we help each other dig out those blind spots for each other? And who would have known the feng shui conversation would have, wound up.
I'm waiting for you to approve the screen share so I can show you the Bagua map because you're the big cheese here.
I don't cheesies. Mm, allow screen sharing. There you go.
You can now share your screen. Do, 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 do. So where'd it go? New tab. Where'd it go? Huh. Okay. Oh my gosh, where am I? WhatsApp. Maybe it's WhatsApp. No. How weird is that? Okay, hang on 2 seconds here. No, it's not gonna let me because it's like a JPEG, so I don't know, it's not liking my
It's not liking it. Well, that's
it's
fine.
n it's not an option. Calendar.
I can still share. I
Sorry.
can share it in
Oh, window.
WhatsApp.
There we go. There's always options, right? Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, so this is where your front door is, self and career,
Mm,
and my bedroom is empowerment and money. And you can actually, go into a bedroom, like if or a room, and if this is where your front door is, then it's the same, so it's applicable in smaller scales. So if you walk into your kitchen and your door is children and creativity, you you look for those corners, appropriately. So
So you can either apply this to the room or to the house, is what you're
She
saying.
said to do
yeah,
both. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. She said to stand in your front door and map your whole house with this. And then every time you go into a room, you stand in that room's doorway and map it with, so the self and career would be where the door is, unless the door is like on the far right or far left
yeah.
or whatever. But if it's in the center of the room, that is how, this is the way the map faces the room and the house.
So so you're always gonna put self and career at the front door.
Right.
Okay. Regardless of what the where the room is or yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you come in the garage more than you come in the front door, then you adjust your garage door to be the front door.
Yeah, she said even if your front door, if you never use your front door, don't use your front door. use the door that is your main entrance to your house that you use.
I'm going to stop sharing. Here we are.
So yeah, that was just a really cool thing that was shared this morning. So
Hmm.
it got my creative juices flowing. It kind of activated another part of my brain to go, okay, because you get in your routines. And
Well,
then
and
you're
it's
like,
funny.
why is the energy stagnant? And then they're like, oh, here's a pretty picture. Play with this.
If your
I was
love in
not alone.
relationships is a bathroom, what does that say?
My love in relationships is in my neighbor's house.
That's awkward. But it's funny, this room, number that, 9 for friend, money and whatever is in this corner, and I just happen to put a pile of shit right there. So it's like,
So you got to shit,
wonder.
shit in your money corner,
Yeah, I got a pile of shit in my money corner again in my office. So it's
Put
like,
a
oh
money
my
tree
god.
there.
right?
Okay, now
Exactly.
it's gone.
And
Now it's gone.
we I just think it's really cool just the way it's so easy. It's just a very simple little map.
Yeah.
And but even looking at the map and like you can feel your own brain. It's like, oh well, what would that be in my room? It activates something.
I believe that.
And Laura swears by it, and she swears that the money she's got and how well she's done is because of these techniques that she's learning. So, and it's a fun way to look at your house. And she said, I used to hate cleaning. I used to hate cooking for my family, like all of that stuff. And she's like, it's been an undoing for her. This was a Toltec thing for her. It completely reprogrammed her on how she looked at clean and clear spaces. And like it was a true transformation for her. So
Well, and I can see that once you have less shit in your house, it's a lot easier to clean your house.
true.
It totally makes sense.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, when everything has a home, kind of, and
Yeah.
you're not overstuffing a closet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. True
Well,
enough.
and we've heard that our external reflects what's going on internally. So if you're stuffing your closet, how many feelings are you stuffing inside your body?
I don't know if I totally agree with that concept. Maybe in certain
Stuffing.
areas, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, the people trying to recover from hoarding, there's some distraction going on there.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's a mental disorder. Like that's a big issue.
Yeah. True enough.
yeah. Well, there's scales and there's scales for everything.
Yeah.
Scales for everything, but I know this week I'm definitely putting some more attention on feng shui. And I think too, because of the moving 3 times and not, just not feeling safe or grounded, I haven't allowed myself to root in because I'm
Mhm.
waiting for the next move.
Yeah.
And so I think there's also a mental shift that comes with allowing yourself to unpack the boxes and to know you're going to stay.
Well, you've made a decision.
Well,
So
and
then,
I think the other thing too is just because you unpack the boxes doesn't mean you have to stay.
It's true.
Right. You're still at choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's almost easier to move again if you do, if you had to.
If I unpacked everything and got organized.
Mm. Yeah. Because I think then you're in a better headspace as well and just
yeah,
overall more prepared if you did have to leave again.
yeah, that's what I'm feeling because I know I have to move within a few months. So just knowing I have that much less stuff to pack around or to pack is incredible. And there was another lady that brought up something, if you don't know what to do with it, you put it on your street. Well, I'm at a dead end street, so that doesn't work. But my last house had 5 patios. I have 5 snow shovels. I don't know why, I have 4 garden hoses. I just ended up with a bunch of I've already put them in my car, and we have mail kiosks here. We don't get door-to-door mail, Canada Post mail or whatever. So I'm gonna go once it's dark, I'm gonna go and put a hose and a
And a shovel.
and we have had no snow this year, none. So I'm just gonna go put a snow shovel and a hose and put free on it next to a couple of kiosks around here, and I would imagine it'll go. Because
I imagine. Yeah.
yeah. And I look at my
Mhm.
garage and I go, just those few things out of my garage make a huge difference.
It does. Yep. So we got 2 weeks left of purge. The feng shui is on
It's
tomorrow.
really a shame we only have garbage day every other week too. Like I have a full
We do
garbage can
too.
too.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
It'll be exciting to see how it goes this week and how much we clear out the 4 of us, and even that is a collective purge, right? And hopefully inspire other people to do the same. So
yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna leave with that. I'll share that. What's it called? Picture. You
The
said the name of
Bagua
it.
The
map.
Bagua map.
Bagua. The Bagua map,
Yeah.
and see what excitement we can get up to with that. So
Yeah.
I'll see you gals next week.
Sounds good. Bye,
Bye.
ladies.
Bye.